Hey, Kyle, thanks for joining us. I feel as if I know you. I've watched you on that program. And my first question to you, being a show that handles national views, how are the 49ers looked at nationally? With the record that they have, it might be seen as a disappointing team or not. How is it looked at by people who are not, let's say, here in the Bay Area?
An odd team. If I were to give them a grade, it wouldn't be an A, it wouldn't be an F, it would be an incomplete, where you kind of don't do the assignment. The record's not good. Some of the players are still nowhere there, but the strangest thing, I think, one of the strangest things in football right now is the status of Christian McCaffrey. We didn't find out until it felt like 10 seconds before the opener. We haven't seen the Offensive Player of the Year now 6 weeks into the season. And I have to tell you, Sal, I know so many of these people who are the insiders, and there's job to know about what's going on with every player and every team, and they never admit they don't know something. They always have an answer, and if they don't, they can get it quickly if they just be on their phones. These people don't know what's going on with Christian McCaffrey either. Nobody does. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan knows what's going on with Christian McCaffrey. He is the Offensive Player of the Year, and it's a massively important part of them. So I can't give them a grade because their best player hasn't played yet, and they need him soon sometime. He could be back in 10 minutes, or he could be back in a year. I don't know, and you don't know. That's the craziest part.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that the red zone troubles, I think, at least can be blamed on not having such a dynamic player like him, running the ball. It seems as if Kyle has one of his chess pieces taken off the board. What are the 49ers going to do about the red zone problems now that they don't have one of their best pieces?
It's a great question, and we love Jordan Mason coming in at running back and thrust in there in the opening week, and everybody went and got him on fantasy, and that's great, and he's a good player, and he runs hard. It's the Offensive Player of the Year, folks. This is not just the standard regular running back. You mentioned him a chess piece, Sal. He's the queen. He can go anywhere.
Yep.
It's not a bishop. It's not a rook. It's none of those. He can do every move. He's the baddest player on the board. So listen, all these red zone issues, McCaffrey goes up the middle, McCaffrey goes out. Now, they've thrown a bunch of touchdowns to Kittle. Kittle's playing really well. But some of those guys, I'd love to see more from Brandt and Ayuk. Love to see more from McCaffrey. I hate to keep answering every question with McCaffrey, but look at the record and tell me that's not a big part of it.
Absolutely. Obviously, something has changed between this year and last, and that's the obvious thing. Let's switch to the defense now, Kyle, because, one of the most frustrating things about watching the 49ers for the fans here is that the 49ers can't seem to finish out a game. They get ahead, and then their their defense becomes Swiss cheese, and they have a new defensive coordinator. How much heat is on him, and how much heat is on the players for not being able to finish?
Our connection dropped out, but I know where you're going. I feel like we have chemistry doing this, Alec. We've done it for years, because the next obvious question is, okay, so we mentioned 26 times they don't have McCaffrey, but they still have Warner, and they have Bosa, and they got all these guys who should be able to close out games, and yet they can't. And it was a funny joke for a while on the internet that they can't close out games in the Super Bowl, and they go up against Patrick Mahomes and he kills them. Well, this is not Patrick Mahomes who's doing this at the last second. At least it better not be this week. It's other guys. It's other quarterbacks. It's other people who don't have the stature of Mahomes. And if McCaffrey's out and maybe the offense isn't what it used to be, you want to lean on these guys. It's really frustrating because I'm sitting here talking to you guys in the Bay Area, and I would love to say how great the 49ers are, but I can't. It's so negative right now coming from me. I swear we're a positive show, and I hope that starts this weekend for the Niners. We usually like to have fun around here. This is so dreary, Sal. I'm sorry.
You know what? Don't be sorry, because we want to hear the hard truth, Kyle. And the truth may be that the 49ers... Yeah, look, the truth may be that the 49ers players are losing a step. They're getting older. I refuse to believe that about Nick Bosa, but there is something. Maybe that young secondary just doesn't have it. We have injuries there, or the team has injuries there. So there is something that is preventing the defense from clicking the way it should. It should be a better defense, yet it's not.
Hey, well, you know what? There's an old coordinator who used to work there who's bald and has big muscles and screamed a lot on the sideline, who doesn't have a job right now. He used to work in my neck of the woods, and his name is Bob Saleh. He runs the stadium stairs, and he didn't have any success as a head coach, but he was really good at coordinating the defense. So who knows where things shake out. As we've seen recently, Kyle's not afraid to reshuffle his coordinators, even after a very successful season. So if it continues this way and Robert Saleh goes back to the 49ers like Matt Nagy went back to Andy Reid and the Chiefs after he fell out as a head coach, maybe there's an answer long term. But in the short term, they better come up with something.
All right, I got one more question for you. The Niners and the Chiefs coming up here. At one point, I saw that the Niners were 1.5 favorites. I haven't looked at the line recently. Is that lunacy? 1.5-point favorites? How can the 49ers expect to beat the Chiefs when they can't close out games? But maybe I'm going to hear from you that it's because the Chiefs also have some issues.
It's because Las Vegas has some issues now. They're very unusual people there. They're very smart people, and they're trying to hook the gambling Americans into saying exactly what you're saying. What the heck? Is this a typo? Did they mess up? How can the Niners be favored? I'm going to take my nest egg and put it on them. And then you lose it. So don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the big ticket objects, which are Niners can't close. They can't close against anybody, let alone Mahomes. And by the way, if you want a state of the nation on San Francisco right now, they have had 2 kickers injured trying to make tackles on kick returns from the other team. That's a terrible state. 2 times it's happened where the kickers have gotten banged up because the special teams are so bad the kick return is running into the kicker and hurting them. So I would not bet on the 49ers this weekend. I'm sorry. I love you guys there in the Bay Area. It's a beautiful city. But I would not bet on them. I don't bet on any of the games, but I certainly won't bet on this one. But Sal, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I think that the 49ers have yet to stop anyone, especially after they have a lead. So, Kyle, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks, buddy. I love your show. Thanks for some national perspective on our team here in the Bay Area.
I do my best, and thank you for having me. Love your show, too. Great to be part of it. Thank you.